everyone, welcome to We Talk Indies. I'm here with Jameis, who cannot be confused with Seamus. You can follow him at the Jameis. I'm Ashley Rosenova. You can call me Ash. And of course, We Talk Indies will be on the TNI network. That is total nonstop impact. And of course, follow them on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast. You can follow me at A Rose CPA, and we're brought to you part by Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles, your IWC indie wrestling collectible line. Anyways, Jameis, how are you doing? Let's get on with the show. I'll let you talk. I did the whole intro real quick, smooth.
I've had a very long week, and we're only one day in. So I'm excited to turn this week on its nose on the day it begins. And let's have a good show.
Yeah.
Don't really know what else to say here.
We both had a long week and leading into
a couple weeks.
We had a long couple of weeks. We're working
Feels like
a lot.
A long month and a half.
Yeah, we have. Tiff's still not here. You could still follow her at Loves to Dream 82. And of course, follow the Indie Wrestling Corner. She is still doing some interviews that she has scheduled, so go check her out, So, yeah. It's just us. Of course, you can follow us at We Talk Indies. You can, of course, go to our Patreon, buy our merchandise, etc., etc., etc.
And, of course, all our best to Tiff's dog, McDuff, who you can find on our mugs on that merchandise.
Yeah. McDuff is doing well. McDuff had a couple of little surgeries, but he's strong and, sometimes he's stubborn in general, but he's a strong...
Me too, McDuff, me too.
But he's a strong boy and he's doing well. So let's start with the events before we get into everything that's happened. We've got Rocky Mountain Pro on the 9th. That's, of course, February, depending when you listen to this. So February 9th, we have Rocky Mountain Pro. We have WWA 4. Rocky Mountain's in Inglewood, Colorado. WWA 4 is in Atlanta, Georgia. We have Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is OVW, in Louisville, Kentucky on the 9th as well. We have Wrestling Open. Huh?
Louisville.
Either way, of course, we have Wrestling Open every Thursday. You can catch that on IWTV. We have Pro South Wrestling on the 10th. We have Millennium Pro Wrestling, that's MPW as well, and that's in California. We have ICW on the 10th. The start time, I do not have the start time. There's a question mark because it's in England. That one's in England.
ICW, that's the Yorkshire show, correct?
I believe so.
That's already taped, I believe.
I have the schedule right here that was given to me, says February 10th.
I know it airs on February 10th.
Well, maybe that's what they meant. I have APW in Georgia on the 10th. We have a lot going on the 10th. There's a lot of independent wrestling going on everywhere.
There's a lot going on in the 11th, too. I'll hit on some of those.
Yeah, I was actually pulling up the 11th right now. We have Spartan Pro Wrestling, and we have Revolutionary Wrestling Entertainment, that's RWE, in Newport. We have Elite Wrestling Australia, so we have an Australia one, too.
And a couple Australia shows on the 11th.
I'm going by the list that was provided to me, so you're probably accurate, but
okay.
I'm just going by what's given to me right now. And I'm not even hitting all of them. I'm just hitting every so often because we have a lot going on Saturday the 11th. We've got wrestling in Tennessee. We have Top of Texas, which is in Amarillo, Texas on the 11th. We have a lot of stuff going on in Texas. We have Bedford, Texas. That's MPX. We have a lot of stuff going on in Tennessee as well. Of course, we have Wrestle Pro on the 11th. That's in New Jersey. We have Monster Factory Pro Wrestling. Of course, that's in New Jersey as well on the 11th. The 12th, we have ICW again. We have I can't talk right. Blue Collar Wrestling, and that's in Portland, Oregon, on the 12th. We have Extreme Valley Wrestling in Dayton, Ohio, on the 14th. And let's see, and of course we've got dates for the 17th as well. I'm just gonna skip a few of them. We have Wrestling Prestige in Portland on the 17th. We have Independent Southern Wrestling Alliance in Georgia on the 17th. The 18th, we have Warrior Wrestling in Chicago, in Chi-Town. I've been there. Fantastic promotion. Y'all should go check it out if you haven't. Let's see. We have All Pro Wrestling as well on the 18th. We have Wrestle Rave in Houston on the 18th as well, Houston, Texas. And we have Create a Pro on the 19th in New York. And go right ahead, Jameis. That's all I'm going to go over right now because I've got a whole list leading till the 24th.
Well, we've got quite a bit this weekend. The most crucial show I see is the Jersey J Cup, which is a tournament provided by GCW and JCW. They have announced the brackets for this weekend's show. The show will take place in Jersey City on the 11th. The opening round is as followed. Mike Bailey versus Jonathan Gresham, two of the top technical wrestlers in the world. That should be a clinic. Arez versus Commander. Alec Price versus Blake Christian. Dante Leone, Dylan McKay, Cole Radrick, Yo-Ya, Marcus Mathers, and Jack Cartwheel in a scramble match. Charles Mason versus Billy Starks. Alex Shelley versus Jordan Oliver for all of our roses on the show.
You know what? Let's just get it out. Let's get the elephant out of the room and say what you want to say, Jameis. Just say what you want to say because I know other people are saying it.
Look, I'm not going to shoot a machine gun at my co-host, so.
Anyways, okay. So get it out of your system if you want to.
We'll get to this past weekend. That's soon enough. Joey Janela versus Starboy Charlie. Leo Rush versus Tony Deppen. That tournament looks excellent. That is this weekend. Also this weekend will be, I mentioned the Australia show. Melbourne City Wrestling is presenting a show also on February the 11th. In the main event, the Warrior Wrestling Championship would be defended. Casey Navarro, the current champion, will be defending against Mick Moretti, who, if you listen to our first show of the new year, I mentioned Moretti specifically for his character work and his constant evolving within the ring as somebody to watch out for in 2023. So that should be something to look at. The MCW World Heavyweight Championship is also on the line as Mitch Waterman takes on Buddy Matthews of AEW for the championship.
Is that the house always wins?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Continue.
So, the house may always win, but so are the fans in that venue. Buddy Matthews, one of the top wrestlers in the world. It's always good to see him go back to the scene for a little bit. Another show this weekend, also internationally, is from GWF in Berlin. I'm hitting on this one because it's interesting. Of course, Peter Tahani, another international star I mentioned to look out for, is on the card. But the main event, Pascal Spalter is defending the GWF World Championship against Scott Taylor, better known to audiences as Scotty Too Hottie.
Okay.
I found that interesting.
Why?
I didn't expect him to go to Berlin for GWF, I guess.
Okay. Fair enough.
That just seems really out of place to me, which provides a fascinating dichotomy between that show and a normal show. There were a couple other things I wanted to look at. Hold on. And then, of course, there's the Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Uh, which is, of course, a play on the My Chemical Romance album, which is the best cover art of any album you'll see. But I've already given that. The show features Kylie Ray versus Sandra Moon, Heather Monroe versus Devin Monroe, and a gauntlet, which will be interesting. A lot to like about that show. Of course, you can see Frank the Clown on that show, which makes it must watch. Good friend of the show. Shout out to Frankie. So there's quite a bit going on this weekend um, across multiple different scenes to keep an eye on. The anything else you want to hit on more specifically before we move on?
No, I think we covered all the events that are coming up. But yeah, that's I think the GCW event is definitely a must watch. And of course,
Actually, we missed one.
did
The
we?
Defy Year 6 show is on the 11th as well.
Oh, okay.
That features Shaft teaming with John Moxley. There's a hard hitting team. And it'll be provided with a contrast of styles. And Davey Richards and Zack Sabre as their opponents.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember if I saw the ad for that.
The show also features Second Gear Crew, Matt Justice, Mance Warner, defending the Defy Tag Championships against Ricky Gibson and Eddie Pearl, better known as Midnight Heat. Nick Wayne is on the show. Vert Vixen is defending the Defy Women's Championship, and Eddie Kingston is also working the show. So, of course, like every Defy event, that will be taking place in Seattle, and it will be taking place in Washington Hall this upcoming weekend. So be sure to, of course, check that out. Check out everything that Defy does. They're one of the best independent wrestling promotions in the world. AIW has an event this weekend too, right?
I believe so.
And of course, you can check out Trent in an interview with Ash on TWM Talks Music. Be sure to check that out.
You mean AAW?
Oh,
Wrong promotion.
my bad. Sorry, Trent.
AIW is a different promotion.
I'm gonna get fired from this network. Surprised I lost this long.
Hold on.
My bad, brother.
Yeah. No, I was like, you mean AAW. Two different promotions.
We'll promote your interview anyway, and Trent, because Trent's awesome.
Yeah, you're thinking. See, Absolute Intense Wrestling, AIW. That's in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland.
Okay, well, when's the next AAW show? I gotta salvage this somehow. Legacy 2023. That's a week from this weekend.
Yeah. AIW's next AIW, not to be confused with AAW. Their
Legacy 2023 is before our next show. Something we should also talk about.
Okay, let me announce this event, and then we could talk about that. February 11th is the AIW show.
Noted.
And AAW is on the 17th, and that is actually on High Spots Wrestling Network.
And that will feature a fatal four-way between Braden Lee, Aramis, Gringo Loco, and Black Taurus. As well as Silas Young is on the card. A lot to like from that show too, of course. And shout out to our good friend of the show, Trent.
You're all gonna get fired from the network, ain't I? Yes, you are.
Well, I'm surprised I lasted this long. They also announced today that Mike Bennett is working the show. So that'll be another match to look out for. He will be wrestling Davey Vega.
Yeah, so I mean, those are the cards that are coming up. Anything else you want to talk about?
There's a lot to talk about, but not upcoming shows. I want to kind of hit on some Mania stuff that was announced because we're starting to get Mania Week announcements.
Yeah, go ahead.
Two specific announcements stood out to me. One, Prestige Wrestling is bringing Aja Kong to the States. It's been a long time since she's worked the States. Actually, let me look that up real quick because I don't have an exact date on me. But she will be working Masha Slamovich. That's going to be a brutal, hard-hitting contest. Of course, Aja Kong, one of the best hosses in the history of women's wrestling, known primarily for AJW back in the 90s, late 80s to mid 90s. The last time she worked this show in the States was Ryo Mizunami in the AEW Eliminated Tournament. Why don't I remember that? Oof. Anyway, that's awesome. I'm hoping that Aja Kong does a full U.S. excursion. That can only benefit the Indies and her experience that she brings, different style that she brings, and the fanfare that she brings can only benefit the independents and its performers. So, Prestige, Los Angeles, California, Globe Theater, March 31st, 2023. Aja Kong versus Masha Slamovich. Oof, that's going to hurt. And then the second show I wanted to hit on was, and you can check out my interview with Kid Bandit, TWM Talks Indies at twm.news as well. So Pandemonium Pro will present the best damn thing, the Rumble Riot, a 30-person elimination match on March 29th at 4 p.m. At Don Quixote in Los Angeles, California. The rules of the riot are as followed. The competitor who manages to outlast all 29 other competitors will become the champion. It's pretty self-explanatory. If a competitor goes over the top rope and both of their feet, of course, touch the ground, all that fun stuff, they're eliminated. But that isn't the only way to get eliminated. The final two participants can only eliminate each other via pinfall or submission. So anything goes once that happens. The match will start with 4 competitors, and every 90 seconds, a new competitor enters the riot. A competitor must enter the ring within the minute and a half after they are announced. If they fail to do so, they will be eliminated. And interestingly enough, a tag team may enter the riot as a unit. If they choose to do that and one of them are eliminated, both of them are eliminated. That's a fun spin on a Rumble. The competitors aren't known yet, but I'm sure that will be a tremendous match. And that got me excited for that show as well. Bandit announced a lot of stuff recently. They are working Effie's Big Gay Brunch, for one. The opponent is currently unknown. Of course, that will be a part of the collective, which also features John Moxley, as usual, working Bloodsport. They will also be working with Maki Ito versus Heather Monroe and Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, that I did see that announcement.
They will be working Black Sheep Mike Rain at a Crimson Kingdom show. They will also be working the California Love Collective. So there's a busy weekend for them. Good friend of the show. Shout out to Bandit. Glad to see they're still killing it.
Speaking of the unit, I saw the unit this last weekend. Well, not really weekend. I guess it was Thursday. So my weekend started early for in case anyone didn't know. I was not here. I was not at home. I couldn't run a show or anything. I was in Ohio. I was in Dayton, Ohio. So speaking of the unit, I did see the unit live.
Ooh, Dayton, Ohio. I feel bad for you.
I had a great time. I had a good time in Dayton. Ohio. I mean, yeah, it was cold, but it's cold everywhere. It was like that week. So, that being said, we're going to talk about, you didn't see Wrestling Revolver, did you?
I did not, no. I'll let you pontificate about that for the next little bit.
Anyways, Wrestling Revolver, you can check them out on Fight Plus. You'll get all the shows. It'll also stream live.
You can also see Alex Shelley time split into Ash's lap, or so I've been told.
You know what? Just get all the puns you want out of the way, because I've been hearing them since I've been back. Go right ahead.
I hurt Baby Bear's feelings. Oh, that would send you into the abyss.
I seriously hope, T and I would get that joke. I don't think normal audience members would get that joke, but T and I would get that joke.
I threw it in there for the famous J-Bone. Best scalp in wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. J-Bone.
So anyways, yeah, I went to Wrestling Revolver. I've always watched Wrestling Revolver, so this was my first time actually being in Dayton, Ohio. Didn't have any problems. I was a little concerned because halfway through,
yeah, she spent a whole date in there.
Anyways, halfway during my layover, I was a little concerned because my plane, a lot of the planes, the flights were getting canceled. Except for mine. Mine was one of the lucky ones that did not get canceled. So, basically, I did make it in time. There was a little bit of a delay in my landing. So,
you should know by now that if people try to cancel you, they usually fail.
Hey, sometimes people just don't have lives, It's human nature. You ain't no one until you, almost get canceled. Tried over different things, Anyways, joke being said. So yeah, I get there. Like I said, I did not have a bad time in Dayton, Ohio. I really did not have a bad time. Pretty solid time. So my Uber driver gets lost trying to figure out where my hotel is to pick me up.
I've been there.
To get to the venue. So I got to the venue I think it might have been 7:30 or something like that. So by the time I got there, I got there right before showtime. Solid, I saw the unit. Of course, Chris Bay and Ace Austin were there with Gia Miller. It was night at the Moxbury, so I saw a lot of Moxley.
Bet you made a lot of Will Ferrell puns.
No, I didn't make any Will Ferrell puns. But
you disappoint me.
I'm not really good at the puns, Jameis.
All you have to do is shout Emilio at somebody.
Emilio!
That was not at the Roxbury, right?
Yeah, not at the Roxbury.
That's what I thought.
So
it's been
yeah.
at least 10 years since I've seen it, so.
So I saw people I didn't see before. I saw Evil Uno there. I saw Wheeler, Yuta. Saw the unit.
Did you get to talk to Utes after?
No, I didn't.
Dude, if you ever get the chance, he's the nicest dude.
Of course, there was some, Impact people there, like Speedball, Jessica, and
a certain tag champion.
Anyways, Rich Swann.
I'm not talking about Chris Sabin, people.
Rich Swann. Actually, Chris Bay and Ace Austin actually did win the Prestige Tag Belts.
Good for them.
Yeah. So, let's see. Gringo Loco was there.
Gringo Loco is the man.
Yeah. What's his thing? Was he the base god or something like that?
Yeah.
The base god. I saw him at, I've actually seen him at Warrior. So, years ago. Let's see. Who else was there? We had Macklin, of course. We had a whole lot of dude. And, of course, the main event was the Rascals. with Myron and Zachary Wentz, and of course Trey Miguel. So yeah. And Dan the Dad was there, if you must know Jameis.
I love Dan the Dad.
You love Dan the Dad?
You're right.
Is it because he's a dad?
It's because he's hilarious. Okay, I'm wearing an Alley Cat shirt right now for full disclosure. Have you seen the video skits he used to do with Allie, Warhorse, and Danhausen?
No, but I did see Allie.
They're among the funniest things I've ever seen.
I actually got some good pictures of Allie. I just didn't post them up yet.
What I love about Dan the Dad is he's fully committed to the bit. He wrestles in cargo shorts. Dan the Dad's great. I don't know if there's a character I like more.
They brought a tent into the ring.
Of course they did. Because Dad's got to take his kid camping.
They brought a tent into the ring.
Look, I know comedy wrestling isn't everybody's thing. But
I wasn't complaining. I was just letting you know that they brought a tent.
And I think people like Dan the Dad do a great job at getting the audience to have fun, which is ultimately what they're there for.
Yeah, no, that's I think every, independent, indie promotion, I think that should honestly be the goal of any, as far as your audience is to have fun. Because essentially it's just entertainment. It's always just entertainment.
Journey Pro recently closed down, but that St. Louis scene right before COVID did really well with their characters. That's the scene that Warhorse came from.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scene Dan the Dad came from. That scene was doing really good stuff before COVID shut everything down, character-wise.
Did Warhorse just get announced for something?
I feel like he did.
I feel like he did, right? I think I saw...
I know right now he's on his European tour.
Yeah, but I think he got announced for something in the States, didn't he?
And let me look.
I feel like it's Prestige or something.
Jake Parnell. Let's see, Jake Parnell. My favorite part of the UK independency is how every show seems to have someone on Ringroo who looks like this dude from Spinal Tap. There's a tweet he put out. That's hilarious. From his Facebook, I don't see anything. What's today? The 7th? Yeah. His next show is PWL in Midlands on the 10th. He works Progress on the 12th.
That's what I was thinking of, is Progress.
Oh, okay. Let me look
I was completely off. I was... You know what I was thinking? P. The letter P. So I was like, was it Prestige or something?
He did get announced for Prestige.
Okay.
But that will be Mania weekend, March 31st. He will be teaming with Davey Richards as Team Ambition.
Okay, then that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of one of them. Maybe I was thinking of both of them. Yeah. Either way, they both start with the P. Totally not the same promotion, but, sometimes it all blends together. This week's been blending together for me.
Let's see. What's his Progress match? Because now I'm curious.
It's been blending for me really bad this whole week.
Ooh, he's wrestling Tate Mayfair's. Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Everything's been blending for me, this whole week. So, I apologize if I was incorrect, but, yeah, I thought I wasn't crazy.
Yeah. Tate Mayfair's is one of Sid Scala's students, and he's been killing it on the scene for the last couple of years. That'll be a fun little match. Very much a character contrast, too. That will be in Manchester at the Ritz on February 12th. Is a Sunday. Chapter 149 for Progress. Man, it feels like 149 is both high and low number at the same time for what chapter they're on. Alley Cats will also be working that show.
So now that we've gotten the events out of the way, do you have any rants that you want to say? Do you have to
I
rant about
have,
anything?
I definitely have at least one.
I don't have any at all. I'm just extremely tired, to be
So
honest with
one
you.
thing that was announced is that Ivy Nile will be working Reality of Wrestling.
That
First off, I think that's great. I think Ivy Nile is awesome,
that name
and I
sounds
think
familiar.
she's a she's in NXT.
Okay, okay.
She's very much very similar to Leela Hirsch of AEW, but she was the first female champion of NBC's Titan Games. Uh, Jiu-Jitsu style. She's fantastic. I'm a big Ivy Nile fan. Nothing but love for Ivy Nile. I doubt she's listening, but if she is, you're doing great work. Where my issue lies is first off, Shawn Michaels did debunk this on the NXT post show this past weekend, which Sean Sapp asked him about it, but they have been known to debunk things and then they end up being true. So we'll play it by ear. Brian Alvarez, after reporting that Ivy Nile was working Booker T's promotion, which it being debunked makes sense because Booker T's an announcer for NXT, so maybe he just requested a body and they're on really good terms, so they're sending somebody to a show, similar to how they did with Evolve and Gabe Sapolsky back in the day. But I think that there's three things to look at. If Brian Alvarez reports of PC people being allowed to work select indie dates is true. One, that can only benefit the talent at the PC. I think that a lot of talents that come through there are trained in one way, which while the one way is entertaining, if something goes wrong, and I'm not going to bury anybody because this is not a WWE podcast and I'm not going to bury talent, but there are certain examples of talent when things go off script, they don't know how to work off the cuff because they've never had experience. And working the indies can only benefit them because they learn other styles. And that's important to becoming a well-rounded worker to work when things don't go as planned, according to the plan. And from an independent standpoint, I think there's two things to look at. Short term, I think that would be great because it would get eyes on talent. It would get eyes on promotions that normally wouldn't have eyes on them or as many eyes on them. And I think that can only, in the short term, suit to benefit the US scene and promote growth. My issue is the long-term growth that would be provided from that. I don't think it's good. And I say that because when WWE allowed UK talents to do it in the European scene was decimated. And I'm worried that if these talents look, any talent that gets a big contract with a big company, I am more than happy for. Take it, do what's best for you and your family. But from the point of the scene, them doing a lot more scouting and taking more referrals is only going to raid the indie scene of its talent while it's still recovering from Super Indie NXT a couple years ago. Now, with the USA, I think because it's a bigger scene, more talent will rise up a lot quicker, naturally, because there are more people to fill these spots. I just don't know if it's great for long-term planning for the promotions themselves. It's great for the talent, and trust me, I am happy to see anything great for the talent involved. But for the promotions involved, I don't think it's necessarily the best thing from a long-term standpoint, if that makes sense. But we'll see if this actually happens at any point, or if it's just a one-off Ivy Nile working Booker T's promotion. So,
Okay, well that makes sense. Um, I mean, it's not a surprise to me because it was something that I thought was in the works like last year.
Right.
So I'll be honest with you. At this point, with anything in pro wrestling, nothing surprises me at all. Like, I'm completely not surprised about anything that happens. Like, but yet I don't get angry about it because I'm like, well, it is what it is, you know? Like, I
And
can't.
the indies are always going to be here. I'm not worried about the indies dying anytime soon.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I
Like,
am kind of worried about WWE sending talent to Evolve and then buying Evolve. And then WWE sending talent to Dragon Gate, and now don't they own the Dragon Gate library that they don't put to use?
I'm honestly not too sure about that. I don't know if they own the library. If they do, I don't keep up with that sort of thing.
So I think, and if they do own Dragon Gate, I believe they bought the library 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I don't.
They don't use it, and that's just that library is just sitting there untouched, and I don't think that's good because I think the more access, the better to different types of wrestling.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, no, no,
So if you're going
absolutely.
to own a library, at least utilize it and get your money's worth out of it. I think personally,
Hmm.
but not my business, and I'm not a multi-billionaire, or I don't run a multi-billion-dollar company. So
Yeah,
who
we're
knows?
just here to hang out and talk indies. At the end of the day.
Right.
So, what else have you been up to this week since I've been out of town? What shenanigans have you been up to?
Shenanigans. No, that I can
Shenanigans.
talk about all there.
Oh, okay. So it's shenanigans we have to talk about off air.
The shenanigans we kind of already gone over.
Oh, so we're still talking about those shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
Those shenanigans. So,
Something may or may not have happened about 90 minutes before we were supposed to go on air.
oh, same. So we both have shenanigans to talk about.
I was trying to tell you before you went on air. You did not catch my
I thought, no,
jargon.
no, but I thought you said we would go over it after we're on air.
Well, because you weren't getting it.
Well, I'm tired, dude. I'm sorry. I have
Yeah,
like,
not all of us could travel, Ash. Ooh.
I don't travel all the time.
That's okay. I shouldn't get on your case, but I'm going to Europe for 3 months and like
I
two
know.
months.
I know, and I have to handle everything by myself and do everything on my
That is
own.
not true. I will be working on TWM time.
Yeah, you'll actually be on Richard and Jade's time. You will be on all their time zone and everything.
Yeah, I'm more worried about baseball stuff. I can keep up with wrestling. Base, they're 5 hours ahead. It's gonna be midnight by the time games start airing for MLB.
But you haven't
And
told
West
me.
Coast games, it's gonna be 3 a.m. I'll be up anyway. But sheesh, if I want to watch the Diamondbacks lose to the Padres, I'm gonna have to wait till 3 a.m. to watch Manny Machado. Who wants to wait till 3 a.m. to do that?
I mean, people have done it in wrestling for years. You know, they watch their faves that work in Japan. But
So you also go everywhere to watch Kitty in New Japan?
I did watch that live. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a fun match.
I did watch Kenny. See, I did watch New Japan on New Japan time. It had been quite some time since I woke up for you know, a Japanese event, like an event in Japan. So yeah, no, I did wake up to watch Kenny and New at Wrestle Kingdom. Give you that. I did go out of my way. Of course, I was gonna watch it. Of course.
Also, it looks to me to that the last Aja Kong full U.S. excursion was 2017 November when she worked Mia Yim, Hikaru Shida, and Nicole Savoy, and Hiroyu Matsumoto, Rachel Ellering, and Dynamite Didi on
That sounds like that was at Eve or something.
three straight Shimmer shows.
Oh, Shimmer. Okay, yeah.
I don't
Shimmer's
know
a
if
good
she's ever worked.
promotion. It really is.
I don't know if she's ever worked pro wrestling. Eve. Hold on.
Well, I just based off of the card, I was like, that's either a Shimmer or an Eve event, one of the two.
Pro Wrestling Eve wasn't in the States, so.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. It's Shimmer. Either way, well, yeah, it's on record. Shimmer. Um, I was based on the card. It sounds like either one to me.
She's worked one Pro Wrestling Eve show against Piper Niven in
Oh.
2018
Oh,
at
okay.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Cool.
Excuse me, she wrestled Viper at Wrestle Kingdom,
Yeah. Well, I
which
mean,
same person. So
same person, but you. I'm glad you clarified both. That's like
right.
us saying like Seth Rollins was somewhere. I mean Tyler Black. Speaking of that,
As
I
long
saw
as long as you don't confuse Sami Zayn and El Generico like a
they are
lot of
not
people
the
do,
same
we're
man.
good.
They are not the same man.
What one is one is the hottest thing on television right now, and the other is helping orphans.
Exactly. Speaking of that, I did. Let's see, at Wrestling Revolver, we also had Jeremy Chambers there. It was a fantastic event. I actually encourage everyone to go to a Revolver event live. Fun, very fun indie event. Definitely, really kind of rowdy, but rowdy in a good way. Like it was a great time. Someone
Dude,
had a
I had
sign.
fun looking at their logo the other night.
Someone had a sign that said "Horny for Violence."
Me too, pal. Me too.
I was like, "All right, cool." So, I was like, "All right."
Their next show is a March 4th Revolver Drip,
Yeah,
and it features none other than Dan the Dad.
yeah. I'm actually probably gonna go to the April event, which is
And of
called
course,
Thursday.
Johnny Drip Jip is on the show,
Yeah,
wrestling Ninja Mac.
what? Hence the
That'll be a
name.
fun athletic affair.
Hence the name Drip.
Right, of course, he's wrestling under the name Johnny Revolver because you can't not put him with the name of the show promotion as his
Yeah,
surname.
that one is not in Ohio. Um, you have to let people know that. Drip is
Oh,
not
I'm
in
sorry.
Ohio.
Drip is live on Fight TV. Let's look at this. It is. Is that Iowa?
Yep, it is in
All right,
Iowa.
it's at the High Horizon Event Center in Iowa.
April 4th.
That's really random.
The April show will be in Ohio, which is called Thursday. It's on a Thursday. It'll be on Fight Plus as well.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. That one I'm actually planning on heading to. I'm not heading to Drip though, but I will be going to the other one.
I also would want to go to Iowa.
Oh my god. What is it with you again? What do you have against Iowa?
I don't know.
Is it the
It's
name?
like
Is it the location?
they're famous. I don't even know what they're famous for. Let's see, what is Iowa famous for? They're famous for sour cream raisin pie. All right. And corn. Lots of corn.
Wait, hold on. Sour cream raisin pie?
Apparently.
That's an acquired taste.
So is Iowa.
I was gonna say like Slipknot.
Oh, yeah, that would be a great answer.
I was like Slipknot. Like
I had to mention Slipknot before I forgot.
you're all corn and sour. You're all sour cream raisin pie, and I'm like, I would have thought Slipknot. That was the
You
first
were
thing that
waiting
came.
for me to spit it out.
Yeah, but me, I would
Dude,
have
I
said
just made
Slipknot.
two Slipknot puns and you didn't pop once.
No, because
The
it just
duality of a man is shown right here on this podcast.
that's a good one. Duality. So, what is your favorite Slipknot song? Do you have a favorite Slipknot
No,
song? Or do you just not like Slipknot?
I love Slipknot. They're one of my favorite bands. Corey Taylor's one of my favorite musicians.
He's a very fantastic songwriter. I think people don't really say that.
I actually prefer his songwriting at Stone Sour. I know that's a hot take, but Bother,
But
uh,
there was some solid.
XYZZY Road,
When Stone
um,
Sour came out, I'll give you that. There was some, like,
Through
solid,
Glass,
solid
some of the
songs.
best songs I've ever heard.
Yeah, there was some solid songwriting on that. Some very solid songs.
I think he gets his emotion and his pathos through a lot more in Stone Sour than he does in Slipknot. My favorite Slipknot track is definitely Snuff. That's my favorite track Corey Taylor's ever done, regardless of band or solo work.
That's a good song.
That that
That
that
has the video with Malcolm McDowell, right?
that's the video. That's like a short film.
Yeah, I think Malcolm McDowell's in that. The
Um,
actor, Malcolm
the
McDowell.
Yeah, Stone Sour is definitely a better. Slipknot's definitely a better shot than anything I threw out there.
You're all, let me look it up, and I'm here waiting. I'm like,
You were waiting for me to spit it out. Oh, I've already made that joke. Oops.
oops. Yeah, I was like waiting for you. I was like, I would have thought Slipknot. Wasn't their album called Iowa?
Yeah, their debut album was Iowa.
Like, I'm like not the biggest Slipknot fan, but I do enjoy.
Oh, I love
I do.
Slipknot.
I do take enjoyment in some Slipknot occasionally out of anger. There's that. Um.
I totally forgot about Slipknot. All hope
Oh,
is gone.
but you
Okay,
know,
I'll stop.
Iowa will no longer be known for what is it? Sour cream fucking raisin pie.
Apparently, I googled what is Iowa known for. That's what popped up.
Okay, anyways, Iowa will no longer be known for sour cream fucking raisin pie and corn or Slipknot. It will be now known for Pro Wrestling Revolver. So make sure to get your tickets at for Drip. And
You know what? You know what?
and follow
You know
them.
what Slipknot song is really good?
What?
Diluted.
Diluted.
Yeah, Iowa was their debut album. That's the one with People Equal Shit.
Well, it is true. People do equal shit.
It also has Left Behind.
I
Those
s-
were two pretty big hits for them early on.
Shit, I saw something about someone made a joke and I can't think of it, but it has to do
I
with
actually saw them front row in November of 2021.
I never saw Slipknot ever.
You should. They're an excellent show.
Yeah, I believe it. It's like I hear that they
When
put
when are we gonna launch the face-to-face version of TWM Talks Music? Because this is a whole other podcast right here.
we're just talking about Iowa and I was like it'll no longer be known for those things. It'll be known for
Oh,
Pro
you know what
Wrestling
else
Revolver.
Iowa is known for? Kevin Costner. Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
Anyways,
Come on, let me use that.
I don't know.
You
I'm not
don't know Field of Dreams?
I only saw Field of Dreams one time, dude. And that's when
Granted,
it
it's the second best Kevin Costner baseball movie behind Bull Durham, but still really good.
yeah, no, believe it or not, I never saw Field of Dreams. I've only seen parts of it.
I bet you've seen the James Earl Jones speech.
No.
People will come, right?
Oh, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come. Um,
They'll
well,
come to Iowa for reasons they could never imagine, for its money they have and peace that they lack. Revolver should definitely use that as an open.
wait, repeat that?
Uh, if I remember the line correctly, granted, it's been a couple years since I've seen it too. People will come to Iowa for reasons they would never imagine, for it is money they have and peace that they lack.
Or Pro Wrestling Revolver?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, maybe Sammy will do that next Iowa show.
Okay. So This is the line. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it, for as money they have and peace they lack. I actually got pretty close for somebody who hasn't seen the speech in a couple of years. But the other part I put in there comes a couple lines before it.
So, people equal shit.
A great track, a truthful track.
Very truthful.
But no, Steph is my favorite Slipknot song, just to answer your question.
How about album?
I actually really enjoyed the We Are Not Your Kind album. I know I'm in the minority on that. I thought that was a really solid metal album. The All Hope Is Gone is a good album. Subliminal Verses is an excellent album.
Is there anything else in
Subliminal
Iowa?
Verses is the third album. That's the one with Blister Exists, Duality, Vermilion, The Nameless. There's a lot of really good stuff on that record.
To answer your
Opium
question,
of the People.
to answer your question about TWM Talks Music, we've already launched TWM Talks Music. We just
I
haven't
know.
done the actual
When are we
show.
doing this?
This show, but I think we
Which,
decided
by
on.
the way, you can Trent Zuberi did an excellent interview for the first episode of TWM Talks Music. Again, be sure to check that out.
Yeah, for Hemi, who did the music for Impact twice. And I think you enjoyed some of Hemi, didn't you? You enjoyed Hemi.
There's some good stuff.
There's some good stuff. So yeah, Iowa. Is there anything else in Iowa? I don't think so.
Let me go back to your goal.
I don't
Let's
think there's
see.
anything else. So so we can conclude that they will be known for sour cream raisin pie, corn, Slipknot, and Pro Wrestling Revolver. There we go.
Let's see. Julie Adams is from Iowa.
We don't care about who's from Iowa. We just want to know what they're known for.
Oh, come on. We don't shit on
whatever.
Julie Adams. She was opposite Jimmy Stewart a lot. And then wasn't she also the chick from Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Was she?
I think she was.
Picture from the Black Lagoon.
Of course, TWM Talks Pictures is launching soon. So,
I
if
thought
you want
we-
more of this smiling face,
I thought we were going with Screen.
oh, I don't know. I have to record that this week, and
We're
next
so
week. And we
unorganized
don't
this
even
week.
have-
I'm not
oh,
gonna lie.
What?
We are so unorganized.
And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
you're
even
right.
have the overlay
Julie
yet.
Adams. Yeah, you said Julie Adams, right?
I did.
Yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon, 1954, which we should watch. We should watch that.
I'm down.
Yeah, we could watch that.
I still think we should watch Metropolis next. And then fill in the silence with,
Fill
with
in
our
the
own voices.
silence. We'll be making our own sound effects. We had a good turnout for Plan 9.
You know what? You know which one I really enjoyed?
Oh God, here we go.
Christmas Evil.
No. Oh, Christmas.
The detachable eyebrows.
He was like gluing his like. Okay, for anyone who hasn't seen Christmas Evil, there's how many killings are in Christmas Evil for that horror movie? There's like 3, right? The Santa kills 3 people.
Then his van drives off into the sunset.
He
Literally.
drives off in his van.
What a hippie.
You know, Tiff would have had a good laugh at that.
My favorite part is still the twin beds.
I was like, what kind of couple are they? Like, hey, honey, you want to push them together? Oh, tonight's the night. We're gonna push together the beds. Ho ho ho! It's a holiday.
Let's see. Oh, let's see. We've gotten a little off base for the
Yeah.
indies.
Do we have anything else in indie talk?
Hold on, let me look.
Because we went over the events. We're getting better. We're getting better at, like, timing and the events.
I think we are.
It's a slow transition.
Um,
It really is. It's practice. Like I came in here. I announced all of us. I put our socials out there and where we were
right.
at. So that's like an improvement for me. Like that I must applaud myself on that. I was actually ready on time tonight. I must applaud myself.
Apparently, multiple promotions are using the Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Interesting. Because West Coast Pro just had a show by the same name. At the show, Nick Wayne and Titus Alexander went to a 30-minute Broadway, so definitely something I need to go watch.
Wasn't there something at West Coast Pro this week? I missed it because, like I
Yes,
said,
it's
I was not.
also titled Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, weirdly enough.
Because I did not watch any indie wrestling other than the event I went to.
Let's see. We
Fucking
did
what
not
the hell is sour?
renew
I'm
it
sorry, off
here.
subject. What is the fuck? What is sour cream raisin pie?
I have no idea.
Let's look it up. I have to know. I have to fucking know. It's bothering me now.
What do you think Trent's gonna be mad at more? Me getting his promotion wrong or us looking at sour cream raisin pie?
Well, I want to fucking know. I'm sorry. It's my
That looks
show.
disgusting.
It is my show. If I want to know what it is while we're on the show, because it's gonna drive me crazy. Raisin pie.
Look, I think
will
we
look
already
it up.
know you're a psychopath.
Oh god, that is gross.
Yeah, I think we already know you're a psychopath. A lot of things drive you crazy.
According to the world, I am a psychopath. Dude, okay, so it looks okay. I'm gonna describe it for our audio
Good luck to you.
listeners. It looks like a little bit like a lemon meringue pie, but it's not lemon meringue. It's got a nice cream whip on top and a beautiful pie shell, and in the center, raisins, melted raisins with sour cream.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
sour cream raisin pie.
That sounds like something they'd make in a Friends bit that Joey ends up actually liking, unironically.
Yeah, like the Thanksgiving bit with like the
Like
layers,
with the beef trifle.
the trifle, but the pages
He
got
actually
stuck
puts
together.
beef sauteed with peas and onions in it, and Joey loves it.
Yeah, like the pages got stuck together or something.
Which, by the way, that's a great joke. When Ross goes, the she's making half a shepherd's pie and half an tri- trifle, traditional English trifle. The pages got stuck together. Joey immediately goes, Chandler, which is a filthy, subtle joke.
See,
It's one of the best. That's one of the best subtle lines of the series. It's just an instant Chandler. When Joey found out 2 pages of a book were stuck together.
I see Doritos comes up when I search Iowa. Doritos. What's their deal with Doritos? Did Doritos
Iowa.
come from there? Doritos. Doritos. But they came from Frito-Lay. So why? What's?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Charlie
You know what?
Raft
I don't
has
want to
been
know what.
since before Frito-Lay existed.
I don't. You know what? I don't want to know what else Iowa's known for, other than like Pro Wrestling Revolver and Slipknot. Other than that, I want to avoid and like disregard the cream raisin pie, the sour cream. No, it's sour
They've
cream.
had the same senator since 1980.
Well, he must be doing a great job.
No, he's not. That's what's funny about it.
We're not going to talk about that here. Anyways, let's close the show out, Jameis. What do you have anything to plug? Do we have anything going on?
I want to plug Term Limits after what I just said. I've got a lot going on. I've got a lot coming up. So be sure to check out TWM for upcoming shows. I have one with Rami. I have one with Corey. And of course, I'm not on it, but my boy Mark O'Brien has an independent Irish wrestling show coming up. So if you're a fan of the European style or the Irish scene, be sure to check out TWM because there is going to be a new podcast right up your avenue. Coming. Mark's great content creator, great guy. I'm very excited to see what he's come up with.
Mm-hmm.
And that launches relatively soon.
This month?
I should know this because I'm the assistant, but if I may ask,
I had to post it. Hold on.
If I may ask the person who runs the channel.
Hold on. Okay, I've got several post-its about different things, and none of them. Okay, hold on. Let me check this one.
Who's texting me? Oh, Kerry Sokin texted me. I hope he's doing well. He's hanging out with Kendrick and
there's
Jacob
nothing
right
on my
now.
post-its besides affirmations.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, I completely forgot when Robbie and I were supposed to record, but I told you I wouldn't forget.
I think
You did not forget.
y'all, and yes, I
Friday.
said y'all because I'm from the South and I'm from Texas. Y'all actually record the 10th.
No, we record Friday and then we air Sunday. I don't know if that's the 10th or not. I just know in my head that's when.
Then why are you?
No, I was saying
The 10th is Friday.
Okay. Well, I'm not good with this kind of thing. Shut up.
I was all the 10th year old. No, it's Friday. I'm like, that's the same date.
Give a shit.
Well, I do. I'm the one that's got to edit everything. I can't.
Oh yeah, that means I should probably kiss your ass. Yeah, you do a great job with it too. Thank you so much.
No. Like, you don't have to kiss my ass. Trust me, I know I'm not that great at it.
But no, I've got a lot of things coming up. So of course, be on the lookout for that. And of course, things with other publications. So be sure to follow me at the Jameis on Twitter. That is the
Jameis.
J as in Jameis, A as in Amos, M as in this,
Did you
E as
say
in
Amos?
U as in us, and S as in
Did you?
shit. I guess I have to record a show.
Shit. You can follow.
So be sure.
Yeah.
I should do that every time going forward.
Oh my god. Anyways, you can follow me at ARoseCPE. That's Charlie Papa Echo. And then you could, of course, follow Tiff, the Queen of the Indies, at Loves to Dream 82. That's LUVS, as in loves, not LO, not to be confused with LOVES. The number 2, and then Dream 82. And
the last time I dreamed, probably 82 days ago.
God, you know what? My brain is fried. Okay, like I'm so tired. Anyways, this is the one about Revolver. This is the one about Iowa. But most of all, this is the one about pro wrestling in the indie circuit and in the independents. Anyways, good night, Jameis. Say goodbye to your audience.
Thank you for watching wherever you may be. Enjoy more of this smiling face and every other week, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
my brain's just fried.
Or just go to TWM News. You could see both of us there all the time.
Oh, buy our merch.
Oh my god. Of course, check out Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles for your IWC Indie Wrestling collectible lines. You could buy various things there. And, of course, support Tiff at the Indie Wrestling Corner. She's got some good stuff there. And, of course, listen to Total Nonstop Impact on YouTube. You can also hear us on any of their podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc., or of course just keep playing, the videos on there too, on YouTube. But yeah, and give them a follow at We Talk Impact and follow us at We Talk Indies. And I'll be honest, McDuff's horrible at that account.
He just wants a treat. And to be able to get more treats, y'all should buy our merch so she can buy him more treats.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Don't be the reason a dog doesn't get a treat.
He gets treats anyways. Anyways, we're out of here. Goodbye.
Yes, they don't have to know that.
We're out of here. Goodbye. Good night. Jesus.
Goodbye.